Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Oh, that game gave me a migraine, an ulcer, a heart attack. What in the world is going on out here? LBHT crew, what's up with y'all? B, what is going on? Explain this to me. What did I just see?
Well, you saw the greatest kicker of all time, but also you
Yes.
saw the Lions get screwed by the refs. Mm-mm-mm.
Listen. We can go back and play the refs make missing calls because they missed that touchdown call. That was not a touchdown by Jamal Williams. So
Okay,
it is what it is.
I'm pretty not really the same, but all right.
Well, yeah, you're right because one was for 7 points.
Well,
Okay.
one won the game, so yeah. Because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't hit the crossbar from 71.
Hey, here's the thing. They missed a call. I'll take it. It is what it is. Bad calls go both ways sometimes. Don't care. We won. I don't care. Shout out to our man Simply AS10. What up, Alex, man? Thanks for coming through. Agent E. Tucker makes history. Noah Driscoll's in the house. Noah, what's up? What's up, man? New hashtag in here. New hashtag. All right. We have hashtag defund the defense. We have hashtag 8 is the way. We got a new one. LBHT crew, help us trademark this. Make sure nobody steals it. In Tuck, we trust. All right. In Tuck, we trust. You heard it here first. In any other hashtags out there, okay, they're stealing from us. Okay, I'm putting it out there now. I'm sure somebody already took it already, but Spooky J, what's up, man? He said, man, I don't know what happened. History happened.
You all know what happened. Y'all know what happened. What's up, Emphasis?
I don't want to hear you talk about Adam Vinatieri. Listen, do people still talk about Adam Vinatieri as being the GOAT? I haven't heard that name. I haven't heard that name mentioned in a while.
Yeah.
I think
New England fans kind of stopped once he went to the Colts.
Yeah.
They were kind of the only ones, really pushing that out there. But yeah, what happened is the same thing that always happens with the Ravens. It's under Harbaugh is that they kind of play down to their level of competition.
That's what happened.
And you had just some insanely bad drops from Hollywood.
All right,
insanely bad.
All right, look. Before this chat's going crazy, guys. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe. All right, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. There are going to be a lot of people jumping in the chat, leaving the comments. We're going to try to get to as many as we can. But if you really want your comment read, we don't do super chats. But there are 2 ways you can get your highlighted comment read on air. Right, one is right above B $LBHT show. Okay, that's our Cash App. Go ahead and leave a comment there. Leave a donation. We'll read your comment on air. The second way, B is putting the you putting it in the.
It's in there.
It's in there. Hold on. You might have to put it in there one more time because I got to pin it. I'm going to pin a link to Streamlabs. All right. You go there, leave your donation there. You can leave all kinds of emojis and stuff like that. We'll also read that on air. And pretty soon that's going to be just an automatic graphic that comes up on the screen. So it'll be even better than a highlight. All right. But all right, guys, let's look. Like B said, this is what Harbaugh does. He doesn't get his team prepared week in and week out to play at their best. That offense looked completely sloppy, man. Like they look unprepared. And also I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. It's not just that. It looks like they want to play a different style offense, but they're not capable of doing it. Like I said before, Greg Roman is not a complete coordinator, right? I think they want Lamar to be a more complete back. There's a lot of passing, and Lamar did great. Hollywood dropped a few passes. Mm-hmm. So did Andrews. He dropped the pass. Man, everybody dropped passes. Sammy Watkins dropped the pass. Tyus Bowser dropped the pick 6. Right? I mean, everybody had the dropsies today, so that did make a huge difference for sure. But if Lamar's not running the ball, they don't know what to do.
Right. And I wonder if he was still, if his hip is still bothering him. That's why he didn't run as much today.
I just don't think he needed to. Like, I mean, he was if Hollywood comes down with those catches,
yeah,
it's a blowout.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame.
That's
I'm not going to blame the coaches too much for this either. But just the rest of the game, like outside of those plays, just the rest of the game, to me, it just seems like, unless Lamar is actively running on these drawn up run plays, like the offense isn't that effective. Lamar has to be involved for them to really get going.
Why are you booing me? I'm asking. He said that his hip was sore. So I didn't know that's why he was not running or not.
Well, that was a rumor, right? He didn't say that.
No, he did say it. But the rumor was that's why he missed practice. That's not why he missed practice. But he did say that his hip was bothering him a bit. I mean, I don't know how much or how little, but yeah, no, he was out there. He had a fantastic day throwing the ball up until the late interception. But this is kind of the thing with Baltimore the last few years, that the supporting cast just wasn't really supporting. And part of that is because Rashad Bateman's out. I don't really want to say Miles Boykin, but Miles is out as well for what he would bring.
I'll tell you what he brings blocking.
Well, yeah, I don't think that they trust the running backs. They give the ball to Latavius Murray because he's the vet. Tyson Williams, I think, is the best running back on the team, and they don't trust him to give him the ball. The O-line, they're pretty shaky. And so it wasn't a good offense, and the Lions have been playing pretty tough, through the first 3 weeks of the season. But man, it's just they made mistakes that you just can't make. Like they're lucky they were playing the Lions, because against other teams you don't get away with that kind of stuff.
Not at all.
That's why the Chiefs are 1-2 now. Because they were playing the Chargers. And you don't get away with making big time mistakes against better teams, especially division rivals. Shout out to Daryl Dennis over on Facebook, guys. We are also streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. All right, so YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, that's how you can watch us live. He says, hey, here's an odd Justin Tucker kicks a 66-yard field goal against Detroit from Dempsey, kicked 63-yard field goal versus Detroit. Saints won 19-17. Yeah, Ravens won by exact same score. You know what else too? The last time they played in Detroit, Justin Tucker hit a 61-yard field goal to beat them.
That's right.
That's tough.
I
don't like the Lions or anything, but that's tough.
As soon as he ran out there, I was just like, he's not going to hit 66 yards. And shout out to our man, Coach Jay, man, because he said it. He's just like, oh, Tucker wants this. Tucker wants this. And he went right out there and kicked it. When it hit that bar, I was just like, we're not going to get that bounce. We don't get that kind of luck.
Right.
But Tuck does get that luck. Okay.
Tuck get luck.
Tuck is
the best.
Yes, and Tuck we trust.
That's not luck. In basketball, you call that a shooter's bounce.
There you go. Yes. He got the kicker's bounce. All right. Man, I felt a little bad for Dan Campbell. They showed him on the sideline. Man, he looked disgusted. Like he was smiling because, like, well, what can you do?
Right.
Like it's like you say in basketball. I'll give him that shot all day. I'll give him that kick all day.
Well, yeah. What you can do is tell your secondary to cover Sammy Watkins. Right, because and even on that play when he caught that ball and went down, I thought it was over because I'm like he needed to run out of bounds,
or at least scoot forward a little bit because he went down and nobody touched him. I'm like, get up, at least crawl a couple more yards, right? I thought it was over before that because the O-line didn't protect those two plays before.
Yeah,
it was 4th and forever. And Lamar has played clutch this year,
and I will say, I said that the O-line has not been good. They did hold up on the 4th down play. There was no pressure. He had plenty of time.
For the most part, the O-line played pretty solid today, for sure.
Until the end, when they needed to really move the ball, and then they were pretty bad.
But it's like we were saying, right? Like they're playing well, but they're not. I wouldn't call them a good O-line. Right, when you're able to get the ball out the quarterback's hands quickly, it just doesn't give the defense enough time to get to you.
Yeah, and I think that's what it really was most of the day. Like they were just kind of getting rid of the ball. Not that the O-line is really like stonewalling these guys. Because and even in Detroit, they didn't have their best pass rusher out there either, and they were getting after Lamar at the end of the game there.
But that's fine. Look, it's fine. as long as it's working, that's what I'm saying. Be creative. If you don't have a good O-line, there are ways that you can go out there and still be creative out there. Just do it. We did just enough. Not good enough, guys. We should have, by my count, we should have been up 34-0.
Yeah,
easily. That interception was bad decision, but at the same time, there was no other option. Yeah, they were at the 45-yard line, and I'm sure he didn't think Tuck could hit a 66-yard. Yeah.
It was a bad decision, but like I at that point, and we said it on Twitter. I'm sure it was mostly frustration. Like Lamar was nearly perfect throwing the ball up to that point, and guys were just dropping passes left and right.
Hey, you know what? Shaheen is laughing about Prochet. He had he had a reception, but that was a big catch, man. Like I give him props for that because that was just right after Hollywood dropped the first touchdown pass he should have had, right? Like or it could have been a second one, but I mean it was 3rd and long, and he came out there and got a nice chunk of yards to get a first down. I don't shy away from that, man. Like I don't look down on that. That was good for Prochet. Good for Prochet. Yeah. That's what you need. You want some solid hands. You want somebody that can convert those 3rd downs. He did it on that one play. So good for him. Yes, he was dropping dimes, man. And it sucks if you look at his final stat, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But man, he plays so much better. And he had a rushing touchdown that got called back because Andrews he's lucky they didn't call face mask. They called a holding and he wanted to argue with the ref. When I saw the replay, I'm like, you yanked his face mask.
Yeah.
Like you're lucky that was 15 yards. I mean, look, I'm always on here saying that hey, defund defense. Well, defund defense isn't a shot at the defense themselves, right? I had no problem with the defense, but our focus here is always offense. The offense, they need to invest more in the offense. And days like today are why, man, because like Hollywood is a good player, but he's gonna have a bad day sometimes. Who's the other guy that's gonna step up and take over a game? It should have been Andrews.
Right. You paid him like it, but
right.
You like we were saying, you probably shouldn't have paid him. And listen, that used to be true for me also, but I do have a problem with the defense now. The defense is playing really poorly through 3 games.
Oh yeah, you gotta hold them accountable.
They only gave up 17 today, but they gave up scores on the last 3 drives of the game. Yeah, against the Lions.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about Jared Goff, being generous, a bottom half of the league quarterback. You're DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. I mean, those are kind of backup caliber running backs. Quintez Cephas is the number 1 wide receiver. TJ Hawkinson is probably the best player on that offense, and you gave up points on 3 consecutive drives instead of playing up to your ability and closing out that game.
Yeah, and I know there are injuries. But look, you put a lot into that defense. We have a lot of depth. Why? I mean, was Patrick Queen hurt?
Indeed.
What's up? That was a bad win. There's no such thing as a bad win. A win is a win.
It was an ugly win.
It was an ugly win because as bad as we played, we got the win, and we can fix those things, right? Those again, if Hollywood catches one of those passes, it doesn't come down to that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There was 3 drop passes from Hollywood.
All 3 of them would have been touchdowns.
3 drop passes from Hollywood. I mean, 2 were on the same drive.
Yeah,
2 on the same drive. The one I don't blame as much because the ball did get tipped right at the last second. He still should have had it.
But you got those are plays you got to make.
Same thing with Sammy Watkins. That ball, that pass was on a dime. When they say he can't throw outside the numbers, he fit that thing right in there. It did get tipped, but Sammy Watkins still got his hands on it. He needs to bring that in. It's a tough catch, but so you got 3 from Hollywood, 1 from Sammy Watkins, 1 from Andrews. That's 5. Defense ain't have nothing to do with this.
Who was giving up the points at the end of the game?
Right.
Was that Lamar also?
Right. I mean, you couldn't hold him out of the end zone as much as we invest. And they also and look, there's one more drop. There's one more drop. Okay, Tyus Bowser, who we just paid but not a lot of money to, but we just paid him. Right, that should have been a pick 6.
Right, because I understand if you just look at it, 17 points is not a lot of points. right? And that's fine. But everything happens in the context of that game, right?
Right.
And if you're giving up points on the last 3 drives of the game to give away the lead, then yes, it is on you.
Well, no, absolutely. If you're gonna sit here and say we got a bad win, we won the game, right?
Yeah.
We won the game. You're saying it's a bad win, so you don't put any of that on the defense? Of course you do. They didn't play great. They did not play great. What we did was play a worse team. That's all that happened. Because they could have easily they can easily look at this game and say, had we done this, and that, we could have opened up this lead. You know, you just played a sloppy team. You know, that's all that happened.
Right. Because I mean, look, you had the punt where their gunner ran out of bounds. That was a turnover for Baltimore. If he doesn't run right out of bounds, Detroit scores right there.
And that guy had nothing to do with the play.
Right.
So I mean, let's not play that, man. Come on, like that defense has not looked good yet this year.
And here's my thing. Yeah, like he's saying COVID played a part in it. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're saying, they only gave up 17 points. Okay, but that's after giving up 28 and 33 in the first 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you're giving up 17 to the Detroit Lions.
Right.
And like I said, giving up scores in the last 3 drives to the Detroit Lions. At some point, like, what is the defense there for? What do you pay those guys for if they're not going to ever be able to close out a game for you?
Listen,
what's the point?
Tyus Bowser was healthy. Owe was healthy, right? Like, I didn't see them today. Marlon Humphrey was healthy.
And
like
Chuck
your best
Clark and Patrick Queen, Harrison.
Your best players on defense were healthy. Your best players, right? The only playmaker that's not there on defense is Marcus Peters. All your other players, your top players, were out there playing. They look terrible. Yeah. They look terrible this whole year. Right now, me and B, and we can say that because me and B don't think they're going to keep playing like that. Right? We think they're still a good defense. They just got to wake up. But they've looked awful so far. All right, let's not make excuses. Let's not say it's only 17 points. It's not only 17 points. Like they almost lost us the game.
Yeah.
Yazar, what's going on, Yazar? Thanks for coming through. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. If we play this next week against Denver, we're eating an L. If we play like this, if we play like this next week against Denver, for sure. We can't play like that. But you know what though? I think they'll tighten it up. That's what they do, right?
Why should because it's their job, Free and D. What do you think they're there for? Why do you pay Marlon Humphrey? Why do you pay Marcus Peters? Why do you draft Patrick Queen? Why did you draft Owe? What are they there for?
Hold on a second.
Why should they have to make a play?
Hold on a second. You see this shirt? Every time I bring out this shirt, Free Indeed is one of the first people. Every time I wear that shirt or I say hashtag defund defense, Free Indeed is the first person to criticize me for wearing it. He's always trying to defend it, but you don't have any expectations from the defense.
Free Indeed. Okay, so Houston was out. Madubuike was out.
So what? Are those our best?
So was Rodney Stanley, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Rashad Bateman, Miles Boykin. They were all out too. So why should the offense have to do anything if they're missing that many players? Why can't the defense go win them a game?
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Shout out to Darren. Darren, we got your email, man. We're gonna respond to you soon, man. We didn't forget about you. We have yet to see games from the 14-2 season go up big early and close it out with the defense. Absolutely, he's absolutely right. But again, back to my point, man. Free and D always gets angry when we say defund defense. But right now you're saying it's not up to the defense to make plays. So why do we pay defense?
Right.
You should be agreeing with me. You should be agreeing with me and saying, yes, it shouldn't be on defense to close out games. It should be on the offense. That's why we don't pay defense. Because the guys that you named that were out, where would you rank Justin Houston on that defense? Where would you rank him? He's not one of the top players on that defense. Madubuike, I like Madubuike, but he's not one of the top players on the defense. All of our top players outside of Peters was playing. They need to make plays. Simple as that. Oh, man, Mikey. Oh, did you read this? What's going on? What's going on, Mikey? Thanks for coming through, man. Keenan Ricketts, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. Zeke Hokage, what's up, man? Man, you know I was a big Naruto fan when they came out, man. So I love that avatar.
No, Free. I'm not saying that the offense doesn't have any part in it. I'm disagreeing with you saying that none of it is on the defense. It's on both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yo, you can't have
drop multiple touchdowns. Tyus Bowser dropped what would have been a touchdown. They gave up scores on the last 3 possessions of the game to give up the lead. It's on both of them.
Listen,
they played bad all around.
You can't have 5 drops and say it's that, you know, we're say it's not the offense. Like we're not excusing the offense at all. At all. But we're just
listen, it wasn't Lamar Jackson or Hollywood Bateman or Hollywood Brown getting dragged into the end zone. That was y'all's boy Owe.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to do anything.
Right. What's going on, Felipe? He says we need Bell. Freeman looked washed, and Murray just runs straight. I wonder why they're not playing Bell. That's a good point you bring up. I don't know. I guess he's not ready. I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe he still needs to get conditioned. I don't know. But yeah, I would like to see Le'Veon Bell out there.
I mean, okay, it's on Hollywood. Period. I mean, they won the game. Like, we're not talking about a loss.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Hollywood played horribly.
Horrible drops, man. Look, we're no excuses. No excuses. You're supposed to be the man. I have high expectations from Hollywood this year. You cannot drop those passes, man. Especially that second drop, the third drop, really, on that drive. Wide open. He could walk into the end zone. You can't. And they end up punting on that drive, man. Like that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
It was close for a reason, and one of those reasons was the offense played poorly, and another one of those reasons was the defense played poorly late.
Yeah. See, the thing is, and this is why we say defund the defense, guys, because the defense can have a bad game, like we've seen all year. Mm-hmm. They can have bad games, and the offense could bail them out. If the offense has a bad game, defense cannot bail them out. Right. The defense. So yes, the offense looked terrible. The defense did not bail out this team. Right. Let's get that straight. The defense did not bail them out. Bailing them out would have been keeping them from going up late in the game. That would have been bailing them out. They didn't do that.
Because again, the defense was horrible the first 2 weeks, right? And the offense played well, and Lamar got a lot of criticism, for losing against the Raiders. He got a lot of criticism, for how he played early against the Chiefs. But, there wasn't that same kind of heat for the defense. Everybody's coming for Hollywood right now. Everybody's talking about how terrible Hollywood was and how he's got to get out of the game and everything. I didn't hear that for the defense the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't hear get Marlon Humphrey out the game. I mean, he got burned by Henry Ruggs. It wasn't even Henry Ruggs. It was Zay Jones.
He
got burned by a bust to lose that game.
And then got beat the second week by who was it? Robinson? Was it Robinson that cut the touchdown pass on?
Robinson, yeah. But we don't hear, man, get Marlon Humphrey out of there.
As you shouldn't. Shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. But you also shouldn't hear that about Hollywood. Is my point.
No,
but you do.
But
people, Ravens fans, they come down much, much harder and much faster on offensive players than they do the defense.
How is it that we pay the defense so much more than our offense, and you don't hold them to the same standard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Hollywood's on his rookie deal. Hollywood don't have Humphrey's deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. He don't have Marcus Peters' deal. Like, he's on his rookie deal. Like, I have a high expectations for him because I think he's going to be one of the better wide receivers in the league. You can't make those drops. You can't play a game like you did today. It's an awful game. He deserves the criticism. But, y'all acting like he's a bum. He's not a bum. He just had a bad game. And Darren, I agree with you, man. On a positive note, things are looking good when guys get healthy. I think we'll play a lot better. I don't even think this game was about the health of the team. I think it was just not a great.
I think they had a letdown after such a huge high. Beating the Chiefs. I think that was a part of it. It's always tougher to win on the road. They did have a lot of guys out. In terms of when guys get healthy, I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing Rashad Bateman. I think him and Hollywood and Lamar are going to be great together for a long, long time. Yeah. But the only
he's Marquise today, not Hollywood.
The only thing that I'm worried about with people getting healthy is what's going to happen when Villanueva is back on the right side. Are they going to stick with Makari, or are they going to go back to Villanueva, and how's he going to look? Because I mean, he hasn't looked good at left tackle, but he's been better than he was in week 1. Right. Yeah. So I'm just kind of concerned about if he goes back over to right, if he the level of play drops again, or if they stick with Mekari or what they do there.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Mekari? So far, I can't really complain about him. He's done solid. I think the best move would be to keep him at right tackle and just have Villanueva be a swing tackle. A backup.
You're talking about Villanueva? I'm talking about when Ronnie Stanley gets healthy.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard how long he's going to be out, but assuming he's not out for the season, I mean, when he gets back, is he going back to right tackle, or are they going to stick with Mekari, or what?
I think they should stick with Mekari.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll give Villanueva another chance. I mean, it was his first time ever playing right tackles. I feel like they'll play him again.
I hear some people.
I
hear some people.
Mekari.
Yeah. I hear some people saying, "Oh, maybe Ryan Stanley should move to right tackle." That's nonsense. Ryan Stanley, I believe, is the best left tackle in the league when healthy. You don't downgrade your O-line just because one person plays better on one side, especially like the lesser player plays better on one side, right? Like either Villanueva plays at right tackle, or he's just going to be on the bench because Mekari's doing just fine at right tackle.
Yeah.
Right. So, and honestly, yeah, it's just one game, but so what? Mekari's only had 2 games and he's played better. Right. So, I'm perfectly fine with sending Villanueva to the bench, have Mekari do right tackle, Ryan Stanley left tackle. So,
no, man. Like he had one bad injury, and this injury is kind of related to that injury. I mean, Ronnie Stanley will be fine. They had to just let him. They had to let him get fully healthy, and he'll be fine.
The thing is, we can't rush these guys back from injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're desperate to get your top player back, but you can't rush them back from these injuries. You got to bring them along slowly. He should have never been out there to start the season. He shouldn't have. You should have started him on a PUP list, right? And just let him fully recover. When they're 100%, he's great. He's great. And it sucks for us, man, because we do get a lot of injuries. But that's just part of the game, man. It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. So you have to, again, prioritize what's important to you. Moving forward, prioritize O-line, right? Make sure we have some extra guys on the team that can play the position, so we're not worried about that. Prioritize your offense, right? So if Bateman is out, there's another go-to guy. Again, man, even with Bateman, I said this in the offseason. We should have signed AB. He costs nothing. I said sign AB and draft the wide receiver. That's what I said. Sign AB and draft the wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Trade for or trade for Julio Jones. If he doesn't cost a first-round pick, trade for him and draft the wide receiver. Do both things. I bet you AB would have made them catches today.
Yeah. I would trade Patrick Queen for a bag of chips. Man can't even make an easy tackle. I mean, dang, Shaheen.
See, man, it wasn't that long ago.
Calm down.
It wasn't that long ago. We loved the Patrick Queen pick. Remember that? Everybody loved the Patrick Queen.
It always kind of goes like this, right? We said, no, Patrick Queen was a bad pick. They shouldn't have made that pick. It should have been T. Higgins. And everybody called us haters.
Said,
no, got to get that CJ Mosley replacement. Oh, he's the heart of the defense, all this stuff. And now T. Higgins is killing it, and y'all hate Patrick Queen.
Tony, Tony probably agree with us. Look, a lot of you guys agree with us. That's why you're here, right? we made some good points, but a lot of people, man, they're calling us haters. And what was the thing I said, B? I said, here's why Patrick Queen is a bad pick, because he will, even if he plays well, even if he plays as well as you think he can, and I think he'll be good too. I believe in Patrick Queen, guys. I do. But even as well as he could play, you're not going to want to pay him when his contract is up. You're not going to want to pay him because top middle linebackers are going to get paid too. Well, top players get paid, and the Ravens have already decided they don't value middle linebackers, right? So when he comes up on contract, is anybody going to be willing to pay him $20 million a year? Is anybody? No. So why'd you spend a first round pick on a position that you don't value?
Right.
That's my whole thing.
Felipe, he says T. Higgins is not that good. In his rookie year, he had 908 yards and 6 touchdowns. That would have been the best season from a Baltimore wide receiver since Mike Wallace. So I don't want to hear it. Y'all receivers are trash.
Right.
So T. Higgins would be the number one receiver in Baltimore from the day he stepped into the NFL.
So if you think T. Higgins not that good, what does that say about our wide receiver core?
Yeah.
Look, guys, man, watch some other football games. That's all I got to tell y'all. Watch some other teams play so you can see how good the rest of the league is. Okay. I think sometimes you don't realize how good some of these players really are. Okay. T. Higgins is a good player. That was his rookie year.
Yeah. And he played half of it without Burrow.
Yeah. And now they got Jamar Chase. My God. Yeah. He went off today too.
That he did, because it turns out, despite what happened in a couple practices, he's really good at football.
Free indeed. It's not about the numbers, man. It's not about the numbers. It's about the caliber of play, right? Like those weren't just he wasn't just stuffing stats. Like, he's that good. It's the same thing with Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden was one of the top wide receivers in the league before he came to the Ravens, stat wise.
And why would he not have those numbers?
Because he thinks we don't, because we don't pass the ball as much or whatever. No, I'm not sure how many targets he had.
I'm guessing that's exactly what he's thinking. He had 8 more targets than Hollywood.
Yeah, well,
like, it's not like they weren't forcing the ball to him.
Yeah. What's going on, Godson? Thanks for coming through, man. All right, y'all. Make sure if you're new in here, hit that like and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Man, look, this has been a ride. This has been a journey, man. Thank you guys for supporting the show. Continue to support. Tell your friends. All right. Tell your family. It takes 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. All right. Also, make sure you're following us on our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show. All right. Also, we stream on Twitter now. It used to be Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So those are ways you can find the show. We do a show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Immediately after the show, we do an overtime show, which you can find on patreon.com/LBHT Show. It is a lot of fun, man. Mikey is up in there. Ferris is usually in there. A bunch of people. Tony Hendo be in there. We have a lot of fun, man. We talk about anything and everything. All right. So patreon.com/LBHT Show. We actually have 2 tiers, a $3 tier and a $10 tier. B, real quick, tell them what they can get for those 2 tiers.
For the $3 tier, you're going to get an invite to the overtime show that we do every Wednesday after our live show. Like, as I said, we talk about everything in there. We have a lot of the patrons in there. It's a good time. That also gets you entrance into our yearly Survivor League, where you're making a pick each week. Your team wins, you advance. They lose, you're out. And the last person standing gets a prize at the end of the season. The $10 tier gets you a Founder's Coin while they last. You got a couple of those left. Yeah. It also gets you an on-screen invite into the overtime show. It gets you entrance into our yearly fantasy football league, where we give out a custom championship belt to the winner every year, and it gives you the opportunity to request videos or articles on specific topics, and also you get entrance into our Discord.
Yep. All right. So yeah, that's one way you can support. Another way, right above B, $LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. All right. Cash App and Streamlabs. That's what we use as our super chat. So click that link that's pinned to the comment, for a super chat. You just go in there, leave a donation, leave a comment, and we'll read it on air. Yazar, what's going on? He says he can't wait to hear our predictions on Ravens versus Broncos. I think the Ravens are going to win it. I don't think they're going to play as bad as they did today. They got away with they survived this week. They're gonna look at it and say, man, we can't play like this. We have to step up, and they'll step up next week. The Broncos are a better team. They play up to their level of competition, and I think they'll win that game.
I'm trying to see where they're playing that one. If they're playing on the road or at home.
I feel like that's on the road. I'm not sure, because isn't that a 4:00 game?
It is at Denver. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tough again, but yeah, no, I'm going with Baltimore in that one too. Yeah. I still expect the defense to snap out of it and start playing up to their ability. I think that, like I said, I think part of today was a letdown after the Chiefs game. the biggest win they've had, over the last couple of years in terms of the regular season. And it was a huge thing. It was a big time narrative about Lamar, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, not just the Ravens, but I'm sure all those guys were happy to get that win for Lamar, so you didn't have to hear that anymore.
Yeah.
Just every time, we can't beat Mahomes, can't beat the Chiefs, so that that's over with. And it was it was a big win, and I think it was a bit of a letdown because who cares? It's the Lions. The Lions suck, and they do. That's why they lost today, right? But I expect them to play better next week against Denver. I expect the defense to bounce back. I kind of hope they don't because I love Teddy. I want to see Teddy play well, but I think they're going to bounce back and get a win at Denver.
Yeah,
What's up, Couch Rider Raven?
What's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. And Spooky said that that the Chiefs are in shambles over this loss. They're not in shambles, man. That's I think that's the difference, man, between our two organizations. I don't think losses like that really phase them. I think look, the fan base would probably think the same thing. Hey, man, we got to step it up. But I don't think they have any doubts over there as to what kind of team they're going to be at the end of the year. Right.
Well, I don't think they're in shambles. If you want to look for someone who's in shambles right now, you're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a 2-touchdown loss to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
And listen, Ben Roethlisberger is finished, man. He is done.
Dunzo.
He is done. Their O-line is still trash. Their run game hasn't gotten going. Their defense is beat up, and Ben can't get it done anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, and we say that with a smile on our faces, man. Shout out to Suge, man. Suge, the Steelers fan. We're going to have a nice conversation on the Overtime Show Wednesday if he comes through. Mikey from Off the Record Podcast, he says, the big thing is finding a way to win games like these. Yes, it's a good sign when you can pull ugly games like this off, even after playing like crap. Yes. Well, yes. Yeah, absolutely. When you play a terrible game and you can still win, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a sign of a good team. And that's why, we picked them to be one of the best teams in the league this year. They found a way to beat the Chiefs. They found a way to beat Detroit. But yeah, at some point you want to see them play well. Now, they haven't played well yet.
The numbers, if you just look at the numbers, if you're just looking at a sheet of paper, it doesn't look like Lamar's having a great year. Yeah. But Lamar looks so much better.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think he could, like, you don't think somebody like that can improve that much more, but man, he's looked great this year. He's looked great. He's put the team on his back. And at the end of the day, the reason why we have the record that we have is because of Lamar. That's pretty much it. Nobody else has really stepped up yet. Hollywood had a one bad game. He's looked good up until today. But the one consistent thing every single week has been Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Deshaun,
what's up, Deshaun?
It is never Haskins time.
Haskins time
cannot play.
I'm with you, Deshaun. It's time for Haskins. Throw him in there.
Nah, don't start Dwayne Haskins when you could just call Cam.
Yeah. Sounds like Washington needs to call Cam too. Shout out to Taylor Heineke.
It's weird. The weird thing about the NFL, the Bills have won their last 2 games by 57 points, and everybody's like, "Yo, what's wrong with the Bills?"
Well, Josh Allen finally had a breakout game. He wasn't looking too great either. But yeah, King of Pugo, what are you talking about? Bateman, wide receiver number 1 is clear now. You haven't seen him play yet.
You haven't seen him do a single thing in the NFL. I mean, y'all thought that about Hollywood too.
And the first time he drops a pass, they're gonna be like, "Yo, cut him."
Yeah,
cut him.
I mean, I agree. I think he will be the wide receiver 1, but I mean, let's slow down a little bit. Hollywood can play. He had a really bad day.
That's all it is. Good players have bad games. Right, I've seen DeAndre Hopkins drop a ball before. It was years ago, but he's dropped the ball before. Right, like great players can have bad days. Fields looked horrible today.
Fields got sacked 9 times and hit 15 times with 20 pass attempts. Don't try and put that on Fields, man. I know what you're doing, Felipe. Don't do that. don't make Jose get the streets after you again. Right? Come on, man.
Oh man. Yeah, the Raiders. Are the Raiders playing now?
Don't put that on me either, Shaheen. All right,
Brodny James, Dalen Hayes.
I'm rooting for Dalen Hayes. Okay.
Yeah. No, Hopkins isn't dropping 3 touchdown passes. No, he's not DeAndre Hopkins. I'm just saying, for example, like players have they have drops sometimes. You used to have a lot of drops. T.O.
Mm-hmm.
T.O. dropped touchdown passes.
Yeah,
all the time. You forget about those because he made up for them with the plays that he made.
And also, DeAndre Hopkins is in like his 7th or 8th year.
Yes. Yeah. None of you guys can tell us what he did in his first second. I mean, he was good. He was good. Don't get me wrong. But you guys don't know that. Okay. You don't know. Yeah, man. It's just a bad game. I don't look at this game and think I was going to say Hollywood is going to be a problem for us. I don't. In fact, I think because of this game, I'm going to go out here and say he's not going to have another drop the rest of the season. How about that?
Well, that is false.
Okay.
He likes dropping the ball a bit, but he's going to have a good year still.
Yes, he is. A monster year. He was having a good game before those drops.
Yeah. Oh, that's not nice.
Looking like Druid Hill Brown today. Oh man. Well, yeah, he's our number 1 wide receiver for now. Yeah. You guys are putting a lot of pressure on Bateman. That's all I'm saying. Don't put that kind of pressure on a rookie. That's all.
Man, I am not a doctor. I don't know.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And even if I was, I have not had the opportunity to examine him. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I hope so. But
Shaheen says JPP has better hands than Hollywood. You're not even joking. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're being real disrespectful right now. You're being
real both of them, by the way.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of Hollywood slander, but every offseason we say, let's get a wide receiver. No, we don't need a wide receiver.
Right.
We don't need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
We got wide receivers.
We got Hollywood. Just draft somebody would be good.
Yeah.
But, it's the same thing, like, with Greg Roman, right? The Chiefs game, everybody loved Greg Roman. Yeah. The 5 months before that, and now the week after that, y'all hate Greg Roman again. Right?
Y'all so up and down, man. It's so funny. That's all right. That's fandomness, man. It's all good. Yes, Marquise. He was Marquise today.
Yeah,
he was Marquise today. He left Hollywood in the locker room. Is Hollywood Ebron? No, man. Y'all really hard on Hollywood.
Lamar's footwork in the pocket looks way better this season. Yeah, he looks much improved. Which would be scary for the rest of the league if the Ravens could block for him and also catch his passes.
Yeah. This game could have easily been a blowout. That's why I'm not. Yeah. Look, it could have been a blowout and we still won the game. That's why I'm not really upset about it. I would have been real upset if we lost that game playing the way we played today on both sides of the ball. Like you watch the defense give up 4 or 5 touchdowns week in and week out, and you're just like, whatever. All right. Hollywood has 3 drop passes, and it's just like, he's a bum. How come you guys don't say that about anybody on defense? Nobody. Our secondary is getting smoked out there. Like, did you not watch the game last week? And I saw Free and D earlier. I ignored that comment because he's going to get us another rant. But he was just like, it was the Raiders and the Chiefs. Come on, guys. What are you talking about, Free and D? So that means you can't tackle Byron Pringle because he's wearing a Chiefs uniform. That means you just let Travis Kelce just waltz his way into the end zone. Like you can't, like nobody can tackle him because is that uniform like magical? You can't tackle those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. They look terrible.
Yeah.
This team is too stressful. Yeah, man. Yeah, Davon.
But you know what though? I don't know if he's still in here, but this is exactly our point. It doesn't matter how many resources you put into the defense. A great offense is going to light you up every time because that's the way the NFL wants the game.
Yes.
You're not going to shut down great offenses. They don't want you to shut down great offenses. They want points on the scoreboard. So stop drafting defensive players in the first round. Stop it.
Right. That's why, look, we're not as tough on the defensive players as you guys are sometimes, man. Well, actually, yeah, we are, because sometimes you guys don't even mention them. But Patrick Queen, you guys say how bad Patrick Queen is playing, and yes, he needs to tackle better. They all need to tackle better for sure. They all need to tackle better, but I think they will. I think they can and they will turn it around. But the problems that we have on offense, I don't see a way to really fix it. right? Like the drops, that's just one game. Outside of this game, you can't say anything bad about Hollywood Brown. Okay, like you can't. But the O line, we'll see, right? Like I'm telling you guys, that's gonna rear up again later on this year and in the playoffs. You can't fix a bad O line.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing, right? Y'all can't tell me what addition to the defense would have won that Raiders game, because it was your number one corner, the All Pro, the best corner in the league, who got burned for that touchdown that lost the game. That's who that happened to. But I can tell you, had they had a competent right tackle, the Ravens would be 3-0 right now.
Yes, absolutely.
But kind of is what it is.
Just Alice says, "How's Tyus Bowser still a thing?" He's the highest paid edge. Isn't he the highest? He's the highest paid edge rusher on the team.
Yeah, he was right on the spot for that interception. Sometimes it'd be like that, right?
Guys, look
through his hands.
Look, you didn't want to pay Matt Judon, which what I thought was a fair number, right? 17 mils, what he got. I think that's fair. You should have paid him. You can't go cheap, which is what you did, right? The Ravens, right? You brought in Justin Houston for essentially a vet minimum. You drafted Owe in the first round, which I'm still stand by. It was a bad pick. He's playing well, and I think he, hopefully he keeps playing well. But bad pick, but a rookie deal, and you paid Tyus Bowser $12 million or something like that. You're not paying a whole lot for your edge rushers, for your pass rushers. And you guys always think we're going to get some steal, but a lot of times what you end up getting is exactly what you paid for. And that's what we're getting right now, exactly what we paid for.
Normally, I wouldn't respond to a comment like this that is obviously an attempt at trolling. But I'm saying that it's so bad that even Sam Darnold can torch us now. That's not going to bother me, man. Carolina 3-0. Carolina is 3-0. What are y'all? Y'all are like an angels in the outfield type play away from 1-2.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Shaheed, B was sweating for a little bit though. That Thursday night game, B, as soon as Christian McCaffrey left the game, Sam Darnold looked like he put his green jersey back on.
Mm-hmm.
That's
where you're wrong. I wasn't sweating because, unlike all y'all, when my team makes boneheaded decitions, I detach. I don't let that in. I don't take in that kind of energy.
No. Okay? You're not gonna compare one man to a whole fan base, because your fan base is just as bad.
I don't care about that. I don't
Okay. Panthers Nation.
I am on a Ravens podcast. We are not on a Panthers podcast.
We are on Ravens/Panthers podcast. There are some Panthers fans in here. You're not going to disrespect them. Huh?
What did you say first?
Panthers and Ravens.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no. When I tell people all the time, when they drafted Jimmy Clausen, I just didn't watch them that year. I just know how bad they were going to be. I just watched other teams, and it was a great year.
Yeah.
You go and get Sam Darnold, I'm just not going to take you seriously.
Man, next week is going to be a challenge. You guys play Dallas next week, and I still don't know what kind of team Dallas is going to be either.
Big time challenge. I mean, there's truth to that, but they're a good offense.
There you go. Living Legend says he's a fan of the Panthers. So
there you go, Living Legend. That's right. Well, that's because your uncle played for him, though.
Right. But, that's right. Yeah. You had an uncle that played for the Panthers. That's right.
Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke, Pollard. I don't know if Michael Gallup will be back. And now you're looking at a Panthers team that's not going to have McCaffrey or J.C. Horn. It's going to be extremely tough. I'm honestly not expecting a win there, but we'll see. It's going to be really tough. They made a call to Richard Sherman. They haven't made him an offer yet, but they're exploring some other options to try to fill out the secondary.
Yeah,
but it's too bad. It's too bad they got hit with those injuries right before the first real test of the season.
And I see people tweeting about Christian McCaffrey, and they're like, "Oh man, he's always hurt, man. What's going on with him? What's going on with him is you're giving him way too many touches."
Yeah,
right. He's averaging like 30 touches a game, and these aren't like. It's not like back in the day when running backs get like 30 handoffs or whatever, right? Like these are, hey, you gotta pick up this first down. It's third and 15. I'm gonna throw the ball to you 5 yards out, and I need you to do the rest. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or I need you to beat this DB for this catch. You're just working him way too much. Be glad that he's going to be back this year.
I see what you did there.
Baby machines got figured out.
Talk
Yeah.
about Mahomes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like with Christian, I mean, people say that a lot, but he had one bad injury last year, and they kept trying to rush him back. They wouldn't let him get healthy.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of, we'll see this season if they let him just sit out until he's actually ready to play. Because the first 3 years, he didn't miss a game.
Yeah.
But we said it for the first couple of weeks. Stop forcing the ball into his hands that many times. 30 minutes. Wow. Okay.
Bank of America. Yeah. Okay. There you go. See. Yeah.
That's a lucky man right there.
Yeah. Lucky.
To be 30 minutes away from an undefeated team.
Yeah. For now. People are going to look at the box score and say Lamar was inefficient. Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah. And they say he can't throw. Yeah, you look at the box score, just looks okay. But man, they really what's going on, Derek? It's coming through. I can't stress enough, man. Yes, Hollywood has some bad passes. He wasn't the only one. Or catches, I mean. Not passes, bad catches. Or drops from his wide receivers. It wasn't Hollywood. That was the only one out there. Mark Andrews ended up going over 100 yards, so it looked good. He was wide open on those catches, but the ones that he needed to make some plays on, he really had 2 drops. If we're being honest, he had 2 drops, but he's not making any tough catches anymore, right? He's not making any tough catches. He had that bad holding call that brought back a touchdown. Like he doesn't look like a playmaker right now. Hopefully that changes, but he's not looking like a playmaker right now. And, Sammy Watkins had that drop. Again, it was contested. The ball got tipped a little bit, but it hit you in the hands. You got to come down with it.
Listen, Shane, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That was Marty Herney. I would not wish that on you.
Yeah, you would not take him over EDC. Trust me, you would not. Because
the thing about having a Marty Herney that is good, it's when you do fire him, you have some stars to build around for the next GM.
Yeah, but
you don't have any depth or anything like that.
You had to pay for it. Listen, you get those type of players by being really bad.
No, not always. Not always.
Not always, no.
Brian Burns, they got him at, I believe it was 16.
Yeah.
Like he was great at finding great players in the first round. They got DJ Moore in the 20s.
Yeah.
But it's just anything after that he couldn't do it. So they have a nice core of young players to build around, but they didn't have any depth, and they had some massive holes in the roster.
But that was Marty 2.0. Marty 1.0. You're talking about number 1, number 5 picks.
He got but no, he had some later picks too. John Beeson was later on in the draft. Jeff Otah was a little bit later in the round also. And listen, he hit on some other picks as well that were beyond the first round. So
yeah. What's up, JP?
He's a terrible GM.
What's up, Jake? Happy Sunday. All right, we'll hang out for a few more minutes, and we're gonna get back to watching some football. But we will be back here.
I gotta check the scores. Tampa and the Rams are on right now.
Are they playing right now? Yeah. Let's get a quick score update. Let's do a score update. Let's go around the NFL real quick. Do a score update.
Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we got the Ravens on the front page of ESPN.com because Justin Tucker broke an NFL record.
Yes,
to save y'all from yourselves. The Broncos are up 10-0 on the Jets. Almost halftime. These games are all coming to halftime. Miami's up 14-5 on the Raiders. The Rams are winning 7-0 over Tampa. Man, the Seahawks are putting it on Minnesota a little bit, 17-7 in the second quarter there. And that is it. That's all the games going right now.
What about the early games? Let's recap the early games.
Okay, early games, we've got...
The Falcons beat the Giants?
They sure did on a last-second field goal. The Falcons beat the Giants 17-14.
Shout out to Brandon from Off the Record Podcast. We're going to have a chat a little later.
And also.
Yeah.
Titans beat the Colts 25-16. Bengals over the Steelers 24-10. Saints 28. Patriots 13. the Chargers beat the Chiefs, as everybody here knows already, 30-24.
Yes.
The Cardinals, it was touch and go for a while with Arizona, but they came back. They won 31-19. The Browns 26-6 over Chicago. Buffalo 43-21 over the football team.
And that's another example of why you don't focus on defense over your offense. The Washington football team has an excellent defense. They were the number 2 ranked defense overall last year, right? And they just got blown out 43 to what?
21.
To 21. 43 points.
And it was 21-14 at one point. The Buffalo was ahead. 43
points, and that is not a bad defense.
Yeah.
All right. You put all that effort into building up a defense, and they can let you down like that. Mm-hmm. And you have no way to respond because Taylor Heineke is your quarterback.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
In today's NFL, that's just what it is.
Your defense will quite often let you down. And the Raiders have just scored. So it's 14-11 right now, pending the extra point. Looks like this was pass to Alec Ingold. That's their fullback over there. 1-yard touchdown pass.
Here we go. Shaheen with the trolling, calling Hollywood, calling him Hollywood Scissorhands. Look, man, he had one bad game. That's just what it is. It's just one bad game. Yeah, you guys. All right. But this offseason, when we're saying, hey, maybe we should look at this wide receiver, don't be sitting there saying, no, we got Hollywood, we got Bateman, we're good.
Well, because I can already tell you what's going to happen.
We got Prochet. Where are all the Prochet defenders that we had to fight off earlier?
Yeah, we're saying, hey, you need to fix the O-line around Lamar, and you need to make sure that you have reliable, high-end talent at wide receiver. And everybody's going to agree with that all season long. And then as soon as the season ends and it comes time for free agency and Deshaun Elliott's got to get paid, all we're going to hear from you guys is, man, get that Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, or draft another safety in the first round. That's all we're going to hear because it happens every year.
Every year, but, like clockwork.
Y'all gotta. At some point, y'all gonna realize that defense ain't gonna save you.
It's not, man. Not today. Not in today's NFL. The defense didn't save us the second time we won a Super Bowl. The 2012 season, that defense was just an average defense.
Yeah.
It was the offense that stepped up. I mean, it was Flacco that stepped up in the playoffs. He had a historic playoff run. That's what won us the Super Bowl, not the defense. Okay. Like all the things that you remember from that playoffs was off of Flacco's arm. Okay.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the defense. So defense wasn't bad, but offense is what carried us to that Super Bowl win.
Oh, and the Broncos have scored again too. That one is about to be 17-0. But good news, Zach Wilson has thrown the ball 13 times and has 0 interceptions so far.
All right.
Making progress.
Zach Trubisky in the house. That's what I'm talking about.
I said, don't do that. I'm trying to trade that, man. Tony Hendo's still going to give me Kyle Pitts. He knows it.
The Falcons got the first win. I thought the Falcons were the worst team in the league. I stand corrected. Brandon, we're going to talk later, my friend. Me and Brandon have a bet, and there's a little bit of money on the line. And I was going to say this, Brandon, if you watch this later, right above B, $ LBHT show. That's the Cash App. All right. You whenever you're ready, you take your time with that. Okay. All right. But you can just go ahead and just put it in there. Tony said he'll give you AJ Green. He had 114 yards today. There you go.
Man, like the way his ass been going, I might take that. I don't know when Michael Gallup's coming back, and I need to do something about my wide receiver situation. I'm not buying into 114 yards. It was 112. Man, you out here lying, Tony. Goodness.
Look, guys, this is what you're missing on. I'm not buying
Patreon. Into that, against the Jaguars, but I got to make a move here.
Look, if you're not on Patreon, these are the things that we discuss all the time in the Discord. We have a very competitive fantasy football league, and it has a championship belt on the line. You don't have the belt on you, do you?
I don't.
Yes, I bring the belt.
King of Pugo. Yeah, Pat Ricard is the one fullback who I won't say he just needs to be cut because he does a lot of other stuff. You know, he can
Yes.
fill in other places, so I don't have a problem with being on the roster. But yeah, he shouldn't be playing on offense.
No,
sir.
No.
Get him up out of there.
You said we should trade Justin Tucker or Justin Houston. You meant Justin Houston.
You know, because I wonder what you would be able to get for Justin Tucker. I honestly do, because kicker, like having a good, reliable kicker is a big deal in the NFL.
I mean, listen. Somebody is gonna lose a game today because of the kicker. If we said, "Hey, give us a first round pick, we'll give you Justin Tucker," they would do it.
Yeah, I think you could talk somebody into that. I think you could.
They would do it. Yeah. 66 yards. And the funny thing is, Justin Tucker doesn't always give you the kicks that you want, because he missed one earlier. He gives you the kicks that you need, because we didn't even hesitate to roll him out there.
Yeah,
like,
he missed the kick.
They didn't even hesitate. They're just like, go do it. He's like, okay.
They told him, Mario, try to get it around midfield, and we'll adjust and handle this thing. Just Allo, man. Like, you know, he's just a you know, an above average tight end, a good tight end. But maybe
yes, just Allo. That is so accurate. He is the best tight end in the league at catching wide open passes. Yeah. Contested, I don't know, probably not. Yeah, Mikey. He didn't hesitate to run out there. He was like, I got it from here. You guys stand over there. He hit it right down the middle too. Like, it just hit the pole, but like, it was right down the middle.
Yeah. I mean, listen, 66 yards is stretching anybody's range, so I'm not gonna say anything about it hitting the crossbar. But yeah, it was dead center.
Yeah.
Justin Houston, Brandon Williams, Matt BK about to come back healthy, and Bridgewater about to have problems. I mean, did Derek Carr have problems?
Right.
Did Pat Mahomes have problems? What Ravens team are y'all watching?
Look, I hope you know what? No. I'm going to agree with Raven a little bit. The defense isn't going to keep playing bad, right? They're not going to keep playing bad.
You hope.
Yeah, I hope so. No, I don't think.
Hold on one second. We did get a cash app from our guy Yazar. He said, much love. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Yazar. Appreciate that. You want to be awesome like Yazar? Hit up that cash app right above B. $LBHT show, or hit up the Streamlab, which is pinned to your comment. All right. No, I do not think the defense is going to keep playing that bad, but they have played terrible up until this point.
Yeah,
they have played terrible.
I don't think they're going to keep playing that bad, but I'm not going to start trash talking until they show me otherwise. I'm not going to start announcing that quarterbacks are going to have bad days until they show me that they can get to one single quarterback.
That's fair. That is fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Browns don't have to announce that their quarterbacks are going to have a bad day. They know Miles is going to go get them.
I know some of you guys on Discord thought I was being sarcastic, but I really did think this was a good week for Owe to really showcase, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, Penny Sewell is no joke. We told you guys that he is no joke. But, you know, on the other side, you know, you can take advantage of that tackle. But Owe was pretty quiet today. But that happens, right? Yeah. Even the best edge rushers are going to have quiet days. This doesn't really say anything about Owe one way or another. It's just, hey, you can't get to the quarterback every single week. But this is why you can't rely on defense in today's NFL. That's all I'm saying.
You can rely on offense. You can't let the running back carry you into the end zone, though. Whether you're having a good day passing or rushing the passer or not, you can't let that happen.
Look, I'm just not going to get on Owe that much this year, man. He's a rookie. Those are the type of things he's going to learn. Oh, you froze. Oh, there you go. There you go. But he'll learn from that, right? And he's still growing into his grown man body. This
isn't anything against Owe. This is more against the people who wanted to come in here talking about he's a superstar after a couple games. You know, I'm just kind of poking fun at him. He's fine.
Yeah. He did get carried into the end zone, but it
was a nice ride for him, and they won, so it's okay.
Yeah, but all right, man. Look, I'm happy we got the win. That's all I can really say about this game, man. I'm really upset. Queen being a disappointment from Fat Boy Ka. Yeah.
because you're expecting a star when you drafted a middle linebacker in the first round.
Again,
So.
CJ Mosley was fine for us. He was fine for us.
Mm-hmm.
He was a hard
hitter.
Better
than fine. I mean,
yes.
he was a playmaker.
Yes. Yeah. Playmaker, a captain on defense, good tackler, and he could cover better than people gave him credit for. And it was like, oh, you can't pay him that much. What did he get? He got 17 million too, I believe, right?
Yes, I think so.
Too much for our blood, right? You can't pay a middle linebacker that's what we heard over here in Baltimore. So as soon as we let him go, you see a drop off at linebacker, and oh my God, we gotta go first round to get a middle linebacker, right? Like, so that's why I asked. So you didn't want to pay 17 million for CJ Mosley. Well, hold on, you didn't want to pay 17 million for CJ Mosley, but are you going to pay 20 mil for Patrick Queen? No, you're not.
But like, you should have shown up at the beginning of the show when we did that.
He said, I thought this was the Ravens Lions post game reaction, not the NFL previews for next week. Well,
I've got a surprise for you. Everyone on YouTube is an amateur.
Yeah.
These right here. These are not paid positions,
including your trolling. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. This is that a Lions thing there?
No. That's Chelsea.
Okay.
He's a fan of football.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you thought it was a preview for something else. You're on the wrong stream, my man. But thanks for coming through. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Queen wishes he was as good as CJ Mosley. That's what Just Al says. Yeah, right now. Queen is only in the second year. That's, again, I'm not gonna really, go in on Patrick Queen. Like, it's the second year. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I think once Wink is up out of here, you'll see these players play better. Wink does not develop young players.
Well, Mosley couldn't cover. Linebackers can't cover.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Who's the linebacker that can cover? We've asked this question before. Who's the linebacker that can cover?
Guys that can do it reasonably well.
Fred Warner, probably.
Yeah. I mean, Corey Littleton was pretty good. Luke obviously when he was playing, he was good at it. But that's not a thing that you should really be expecting from your linebackers. CJ Mosley made plays though. CJ Mosley is the guy who had the interception off of Baker Mayfield to seal the game his last time in
Baltimore.
Yeah. And the question here is, can Patrick Queen cover?
Right.
Because the answer is no.
Right. That's a good point. Or Malik Harrison. Adeep Mahmood, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. He says people need to remember that Owe has only played football for 5 years. He's going to be inconsistent this year. He still has the potential to be disruptive force consistently. It will take time. Yeah, I agree. But that's why I didn't want to draft him in the first round. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We have needs and we have expectations. And I don't think we should be spending time on players that are going to take time to become the player that we need them to be right now. That's my whole thing. Yeah, he could pay off later on. What's that team going to look like then? Kenny Young. Yeah. Yeah. We can wait to get rid of him. Yeah. Bobby Wagner.
That's cool. Yeah. So, but this is a good example, right? Like Bobby Wagner, you can make the argument that he's the best linebacker in the NFL over the last 10 to 15 years. Right, like he's in the argument.
He's not that great of a coverage linebacker.
But what I'm saying, even still, even if he was a great cover linebacker, you're talking about one of the best at his position in quite a while. That's not a thing that you should be looking for out of just run of the mill linebackers.
Yeah. Spirit of Justice, what's going on? He said Anthony Joshua lost and the Ravens won. Great weekend.
Why do you hate Anthony Joshua? Oh man, like I think Anthony Joshua is incredibly likable.
I can tell you why. Because British fans are just as obnoxious about Anthony Joshua as Americans are about everything else, right? Like they love Anthony Joshua. They talk so much trash about Anthony Joshua. They make every excuse about Anthony Joshua when he loses. Like I gave a Spirit of Justice coming from on that. But man, great fight. That was a great heavyweight fight. That was the best heavyweight fight we've seen probably since Joshua and Klitschko.
Yeah.
Right? You haven't seen a fight of that kind of caliber, like skill-wise, in a very long time. And if you want to see a full review of that fight, go right above me, patreon.com/LBHT show. Okay. We talked about that fight. We put out a little YouTube short on that as well.
You know what, Spirit of Justice? He's ducked Wilder for years. I'm not gonna disagree with that, but I will ask you this: if you had Anthony Joshua's chin, would you take that fight? Because you saw, I mean, he almost got put away by Usyk at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
Now, if you knew that about yourself, if you've been hurt against multiple guys, would you take a fight with Deontay Wilder?
Especially when you don't have to, because you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, DAZN's already paying him a huge sum of money.
Especially one, you don't have to, and two, he took a much tougher fight or a fight against a much better fighter in Usyk.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna, I won't go in on him for that.
Yeah.
He's fighting better fighters than Deontay Wilder.
Sometimes, and look, we say this on this end, man. I don't think he's really scared. Like when you get to that level, I don't think you're really scared. There's a lot of politics that goes on behind the scenes, man, and that could be something that Eddie Hearn might just be holding back on getting that deal done. It might be out of Joshua's hands, right? Because Wilder represents himself, right? So, and Eddie Hearn, all these promoters want to control everything. So it could be something where they think they can get over on Wilder because he doesn't have a promoter, or they're saying, hey, in order to do this fight, you're gonna have to come under my promotion, and Wilder doesn't want to do that, so they don't make the fight happen. You know what I mean? Like there's so much thing that goes on behind the scenes. It's not about the fighters being scared. It's just about business moves, right? Mm-hmm. That determines when these fights happen.
Yeah, but and like I said, he's fighting better fighters than Deontay Wilder, so it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. Adit says the issue with Hollywood and Queen is that they play at 100 miles per hour at times when they need to play at 75 miles per hour. Once they slow down their thinking, they will become more consistent. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Wilder sleeps Usyk. Let him beat Tyson Fury first before he starts talking trash.
Look, and again, I don't disagree. He could. Wilder can put asleep anybody at any time. But if we're just going off of skill, right? If we're just going off of skill, Usyk is way better. Usyk is way better.
Usyk will embarrass that man.
But that's the thing me and B are talking about. I don't know, right? Because like Wilder could catch him at heavyweight. Yes, Usyk is quicker, but he is going to get hit, and it only takes one hit from Wilder, right? And Wilder will take all the hits to get to you, right? He'll be a lot more aggressive than Joshua was, which is why we thought Joshua lost that fight. He should have been more aggressive early on. Wilder will be more aggressive.
Here's the thing: he'll be more aggressive to a point, right? Because that aggression went away against Tyson Fury when he started getting hit.
But Tyson Fury is a lot bigger too.
He is bigger, but
he put on. Well, he's bigger than Usyk than he was the first fight. Second fight, he put on even more weight, and he leaned on Wilder to smother him. That's why. That's how he made him ineffective.
But Usyk will run around the ring and he'll pop him with the jab and his straight left all night long, and Deontay Wilder won't want any more of it. Just like he didn't want any more of Tyson Fury, because that's what really happened in that fight. He started to tire out and he didn't want it anymore, and that's exactly what would happen against Usyk. It will just happen in a different way.
I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying it's the possibilities there that he can land that punch, sure. and that changes everything, right? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, like but that's the same possibility for every heavyweight, right? Like it's the same thing with Joshua. Hey, he's got this great power, and if he can land on Usyk, it'll put him out. Yeah,
but it's the same. Look, like the first time he fought Fury was outboxing him, and then he got caught. Well, he got caught twice. Yeah. But I think
again,
I don't
talking
think
about a different level of skill between Fury and Usyk as well.
Yes, but also I don't think Usyk can take a punch like Fury took that punch.
I mean, look, we'd have to see, with Wilder, but you just saw him take Anthony Joshua's punch for 12 rounds.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And that is he is not a soft punching man.
Yeah,
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to some Ravens talk. I know that not everybody here is a boxing fan. Here we go. Well, we do have a boxing fan. He says if you eliminate the right hand, Wilder not going to win. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. He refuses to throw the jab or learn how to throw a jab or do anything else, learn any footwork. Like Wilder's not a good boxer. He's not.
I mean, okay, like he's fought Fury twice and hasn't stopped him yet. So I mean, we'll see. I hope he beats Fury, but I'm not holding my breath for that.
He stopped Fury. The ref woke him up.
But no. he knocked him unconscious. He did not stop him because he did.
He did not go unconscious. Josiah says Detroit Free Press is complaining about Lamar's 4th and 19, saying there should have been a delay of game. Yeah, it should have been. They didn't call it.
I don't know about the 4th and 19. I know that there should have been a delay of game right before they kicked the field goal.
You know what? I hope there should have been a delay of game on both plays. Cry about it. Cry about it. I don't care. Game over.
You know what? No, because I hear Ravens fans all the time talking about how the refs hate them. So yeah,
but that's why.
Very valid.
But that's why I don't care. That's why I don't care, because bad calls happen to every team in the league.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm just saying I don't want to hear Ravens fans like, yeah, we got away with one when you cry about the refs hating you all the time. You know, not you specifically,
but that's why I would want them to laugh at it. If you think that the refs always screw us over, when we finally get one, I say it's deserved. Okay, so yeah, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that wasn't luck, man. Like Tucker is the best.
Did you guys see the kick go right down the middle? That's not luck. That's accuracy. That's accuracy. Okay, yeah. Like, dog, he ran right out there with no hesitation and just booted that thing. No timeouts called. No thinking about it. He was like, "Yo, get out there." He's like, "Here I go."
Like I said earlier, you know, because with the delay game, like, yeah, he wouldn't have made that from 71. But if they had called the delay game and they ran him out there from 71, I would expect it to go in. Yeah, just watching it.
I didn't think it was gonna happen, man. I was getting mad. I was just like, "All right, you're gonna go out there and kick it, man. This is gonna fall short."
I thought he was gonna make it, or at least come close, because 66 isn't that much of a stretch over what you've seen from guys before.
It's not, because the last time he did it in that stadium to the Lions, it was from 63 yards, and he had a few more feet to clear.
And I know that Graham Gano, he hit from a 63, I believe it was, to beat the Giants, and I know that Justin Tucker is a few yards better than Graham Gano.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Graham. I love Graham, but he's not Tucker.
Yeah.
Jason, apparently they don't. Apparently it's all good, and that play clock is just a suggestion.
They gotta snap the ball off quicker. Again, so nothing we can bring up, the pre-snap penalties that have plagued this offensive line for the last 2 years is still the same issues. Illegal shifts. There's at least 2 illegal shifts, right? Not getting the ball out quick enough. There's just a lot of things that I'm just seeing from this O-line that shouldn't go down anymore. That should not go down anymore. And look, when you neglect it, this is what happens.
Ye of little faith, just out.
Guys, I actually turned my head in frustration when the ball hit the bar. I assumed he missed it. From the angle, I heard it, but I just couldn't see it. So I just kind of sat there. I was just like, where'd it go? And then when I heard the announcer screaming, I was like, no. He didn't.
Those are the craziest kicks, because from that angle you can't tell which way the ball goes when it hits the bar. Like, you can't tell at all. It just bounces up, and I'm like, I don't know. I heard people cheering, so I assumed it bounced out. I was waiting for it to land at like the goal line or something, and then the ref's arms went up. I was like, no.
Didn't that happen to us one game? Was that against the Patriots when the guy made a field goal? It hit the bar and it bounced back out, and everybody thought he missed it, but it already crossed the field goal, but it hit the back bar.
The back part of the cross.
Yeah.
Like the up, well, not the upright, but yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, no, the ball went out, but it crossed. it crossed the ball. Yeah. Man, that was
rules nobody knew about.
If you're a Lions fan, first of all, why? But if you're a Lions fan, I understand the pain. Like, because the Lions' 3 losses, like, they've battled in all those games, right? Yeah. The Green Bay game got out of hand. Yeah. But they were in it in the first half, and a few turnovers is what changed that game for them. But they've been a lot more competitive than people realize.
Yeah, they had the ball with 23 seconds left on like San Francisco's 20-yard line, down 1 score in that game. They had the chance to tie that up. And obviously today, if they had played just a little tiny bit more defense at the end, they would have beat Baltimore.
But I'll say this, right? When you're a bad team, a bad organization, and you've developed a losing culture, right? It takes a while to turn that around. But what they're doing are the steps towards the right direction. And I'll give Dan Campbell some props, man. I thought he was going to be a complete disaster. He hasn't been. But this is what you got to do. You got to change the mentality. You got to change this to we're going to fight every single week, right? Like he said, we're going to bite the ankles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like
well, yeah. See, that's the thing with Dan Campbell. Right? I didn't think he was going to be a disaster in terms of like, oh, we're going to get blown out every week and be a laughing stock, because he is that kind of rah guy, and you know the players kind of relate to him and respond to him. So I figured they were going to play hard and they would lose a lot just because they don't have a lot of talent. The problem with Dan Campbell is going to be if they win a few games and they decide to keep him, because he's not a guy who's going to take you any farther than rah, let's play hard.
So he's a starter coach, right?
Yeah.
He's a starter coach, and they definitely have a place in this league when you're trying to change the culture of a locker room, and you're trying to build a foundation. That's what you do, right? You're going to lose a lot of games still, but the team's going to look a lot more competitive. And then when you start getting some talent, they'll start winning.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to kind of hand it over to the next person, right?
Like with Dan Campbell.
Yeah. You say, you guys this far, thank you. Now we're going to bring in this person to take over. Yeah.
I don't know, Fat Boy. Like it ain't happened in the last 14 years.
Yeah, it hasn't happened ever under Mike Tomlin. I'm not going to pick them to have a losing record, but their playoff run is definitely in jeopardy. I can't say they're going to have a losing record, right? Not with the coach he's never had a losing record before.
Oh, we got the Rams are still leading Tampa Bay 14-7, getting ready to go into halftime.
Okay. All right, guys. So we are going to end it here. All right. You guys can catch us on Wednesday. Can't take anybody lightly. Yes. Well, that's another thing that we said. Yeah. Right. You got to wait. We're not going to know anybody like who's who in this league until probably like week 4 or 5.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of teams out there we don't quite know who they are yet. But as you know, they start to establish themselves, we'll have a better idea of who's doing what. We're starting to get an idea somewhat some of these teams, but no, man, especially
like your 3-0 Carolina Panthers. We know about them.
Yeah, we'll find out.
No idea what the Ravens are yet.
We know what they are. They're inconsistent. We know what Lamar Jackson is. Man, God, if we didn't have Lamar Jackson, we would be so bad.
Oh man, the Vikings just took the lead on Seattle.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins out there murdering these guys. 16 for 20, 185 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Nice. Okay, Kirk. Okay.
The only person who has not caught a touchdown pass, because he's completed passes to 4 people. The only person who has not caught a touchdown pass is the guy I have on my fantasy team, Alexander Madison.
Did you start him?
Starting because Dalvin Cook is out. He's got 5 catches for 60 yards, and he's the only receiver who does not have a touchdown so far.
Yeah. We'll end with this here, man. Please pay Lamar now. I agree. And if I'm Lamar, it's $50 million now. All that 40 talk, no, we done with that. It's $50 million. $50 million per. All right. And if you can't handle that, then
thank you, Just Al. That's what I like to hear, man. That's
Aaron Donald just crushed Tom Brady. Yes.
It's the kind of stuff that it just makes you feel good.
Yes. Yeah. Did he get up and start yelling at people? Did he fight his offensive coordinator? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That is it for this stream. Hang out with us on Wednesday night, 7:15. We're going to discuss more of this, and then we'll preview the upcoming week. The Panthers play Dallas. They play Dallas. Yes. We're playing the Broncos. So we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to discuss some of the fights over this weekend. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time. Peace out.